Someone in a uniform tells you to do something you know is wrong. You do it anyway. It happens more often than you think. But the real answer to why is far stranger than simple fear. Think about the last time an authority figure gave you an instruction. A doctor, a boss, a police officer. Did you question it? Most people don't. In 1961, a psychologist at Yale University wanted to know why. His name was Stanley Milgram. He was haunted by the trial of Adolf Eichmann, an architect of the Holocaust, whose defense was simple. He was just following orders. Milgram built an experiment to test that excuse. A volunteer was told to shock another person for wrong answers, each shock stronger than the last, up to a lethal 450 volts. The other person was an actor. No one was actually hurt, but the volunteer didn't know that. As the voltage climbed, the actor screamed, begged, then went silent. The volunteer, shaking, would ask to stop. A man in a lab coat would answer with 4 words. Please continue. The experiment requires it. Psychiatrists predicted almost no one would go to the maximum. They were wrong. Nearly 2 out of 3 volunteers did. Not because they wanted to hurt anyone. Because someone in a coat told them to continue. Milgram called this the agentic state. A person stops feeling responsible for an action and starts feeling like an instrument of someone else's will. You are still pulling the lever. But in your mind, someone else decided. Why? For most of human history, survival depended on group cohesion. A hunter-gatherer who ignored the group in a crisis did not last long. Obedience to hierarchy was not weakness. It was survival passed down for hundreds of thousands of years. Your brain still runs that code. Faster than reason, it answers to authority first. Milgram was not alone in finding this. A decade earlier, Solomon Asch asked people to judge line lengths on a card. An easy task. But actors in the room confidently gave the wrong answer first. About a third of real participants agreed with the obviously wrong answer, doubting their own eyes rather than standing apart from the group. In 1971, Philip Zimbardo randomly assigned Stanford students to be guards or prisoners. Within days, ordinary students turned cruel, not because they were cruel people, but because the role and its authority structure pulled the behavior out of them. Does this mean you have no free will? Not quite. When Milgram's authority figure left the room and gave orders by phone, obedience dropped sharply. When another actor in the room refused to continue, real participants often refused to. Presence mattered. So did watching someone else break the spell first. That is the quiet hope inside a disturbing study. Obedience is powerful but not absolute. One dissenting voice can be enough. Think about your own life. A meeting where everyone nods at a bad idea. A group chat where you laugh along, uncomfortable. You are not agreeing because you are weak. You are running code built for small groups where disagreement could mean exile. The stakes today are smaller. An awkward silence, a tense email. But your nervous system has not caught up. Milgram's study could never be run today exactly as it was. But modified, more ethical versions have repeated the same result for decades across countries and populations. Ordinary people, given the right conditions, will act against their own conscience. Here is something else researchers later found. The people who refused were not simply more moral. Many felt the same pull to obey. The difference was practice. A small earlier moment of pushing back against a teacher or a rule and surviving it. Disobedience behaves like a muscle. Rarely used, it stays weak. Exercised in small moments, it grows stronger for when it is needed. So here is the real answer. It is not that you are unusually obedient or weak or broken. Your mind was built inside small, ancient groups where following the one voice at the top kept everyone alive. And it never fully updated for boardrooms, clipboards, and strangers in lab coats. Someone in a uniform tells you to do something you know is wrong. Now you know why part of you listens. And now you also know what it takes to become the one voice in the room that says stop.